Coach, obviously probably feels pretty good to still be playing this time of year, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I think our guys have done a really good job of kind of recharging their batteries once we got knocked off in the conference tournament. They've come back with a renewed enthusiasm and started off with a good win over IPFW, and then to be able to go on the road and get two good wins, I think has really been good for our basketball program.
Well, you guys are playing really good basketball at this point, reminiscent of the way you played during the regular season. And I know the regular season and the conference tournament obviously didn't end the way you wanted it to. But what's changed? Are the guys, could you argue that they're playing with maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder at this time?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I think initially, the first game, we got off to such a good start, and we let up a little bit in the second half. But I really think going up to Eastern and playing so well up there, and there's just something about it when you went on the road, and then going down to Lafayette, they had a great atmosphere. We played in a historic arena that they really hadn't played basketball in since '04, and beat a quality team. I think they'd won 9 of their last 10. But, I mean, the guys, are coming to practice with a little bit of a hop in their step, and it's been a lot of fun.
Is that what they call that arena down there, Coach? Historic?
Yeah. You know what? It was pretty cool because I've heard the stories of when Southwest Louisiana played here in '71, the national, I think it was the semifinals, but they had a kid by the name of Bo Lamar's. And a lot of our fans will remember Don Boozy did one heck of a job, locked him down, and I think Bo was averaging 35, 36 points, and Boozy held him to 17. But when you went in the arena, they had a poster hanging up. So brought back memories of that and some of the stories that we've been told.
Now, this tournament, this CIT, obviously it's not, one of the two big ones, if you will, with the NCAA tournament and the NIT. But this is a pretty big tournament, especially for mid-major schools. It's combined of all mid-majors, all with winning records. So it's not an easy tournament. And I don't care who you're playing this time of year. It's not easy to win. You guys are in the Final Four of this thing. And, you played the Lafayette, Louisiana team you played had a projected second-round NBA kid in the big guy. Not a kid, he's a man. In the middle there.
He is a man.
Yeah,
he is.
I watched a little bit of that game. What I could catch on the stream, it was, it buffered more than it played, I think. But at the same time, I was able to see a little bit of it. And, you guys did a pretty decent job with him, all things considered. And I think that's something, Agidius had to be kind of fired up to get a chance to play against that caliber of talent.
He was. I think the entire team was. Unfortunately, Giddy got in some early foul trouble, and Jalen Moore was just terrific off the bench. Just gave us an outstanding effort, scored it and rebounded it, and Meeslop came off the bench and was outstanding, I think, with 10 points and 9 rebounds. But you're exactly right about the tournament. I think what you have here is you have some teams that maybe don't have the name recognition as some of the teams in the NIT and the NCAA, but you have very, very, very good basketball teams. If you look at past years, people, Murray State was the 2014 CIT champs. Everybody knows they won 25 or 26 in a row this year, made a great run. 2013, Weber State was the runner-up, and in 14 they go to the NCAA. Mercer was the 2012. I think people remember last year, I believe it was, when they beat Duke in the NCAA tournament. So you guys are on it. I mean, you may not get the wow factor, but you're talking about very good coaches that have outstanding players that are playing really good basketball at this time of year.
Talking to Evansville men's basketball coach Marty Simmons on the Menard Studio Hotline. It's Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 1053, and online, ESPNEvansville.com. Now, the game tomorrow, Coach, inside the Ford Center has been a change in the tip-off time, originally scheduled for, I think, a little after 8. Now you guys tip off at 6 o'clock against UT Martin. Is that correct?
That is correct. 6 o'clock tip-off.
All right. What can you tell us about this UT Martin school that you're getting ready to, this team that you're getting ready to face tomorrow night at the Ford Center?
Well, number one, they've won 12 road games, which and I think is tied for the most in the country with the teams like Kentucky. So they certainly are not intimidated by playing on the road. They're very, very quick. They're very athletic. They can really stroke it from three. In the tournament, they're shooting 44% from three. They've got a young man in Anderson that's 15 for 25, shooting 60% from three. But they really push it hard in transition. A little bit undersized in the post, but they use that to their advantage with their quickness at driving the basketball. But just a really talented basketball team. They got a couple transfers, one from Nevada, Las Vegas, and then another one from Texas, El Paso. Again, they've added some junior college transfers, but an explosive offensive basketball team.
What do you guys need to do? Obviously, Ballantyne has just been on fire for you guys lately. I expect more out of him. And what do you do to get a win tomorrow and move on to the finals of that CIT tournament?
Well, I mean, number one, you just hit it. I mean, we've got to run good offense. I mean, they've been a very good defensive team. We can't turn the basketball over. We need to finish at the basket when we do get those opportunities. And then defensively, I mean, we're going to have to be really sharp. Our team defense is going to have to be really sound because of their quickness and their athleticism. You know, it's not one-on-one. I mean, we've got to be able to show good help to each other. Transition defense is going to be a key. I mean, they push the ball in transition as good as any team that we've played against. So communication and getting matched up in our transition D, I think, will be a big key. And then they out-rebounded Eastern Kentucky the other night, 43-19. So even though they may not have the 7', 6'10", they are very quick. They're very aggressive. They're very athletic at going and getting the ball on the glass.
Well, when we win this game, Coach, and move on to the championship game, because I can say that, you can't. You got to be a one game at a time kind of guy. But if we can look ahead here, when would the championship game be, and how do they decide where it's played?
Well, that's a good question. The championship game would be played Thursday, and I think that would be decided upon the completion of both semifinal games, and you would find out. I think we have the 6:00 tip-off, and I think Northern Arizona and New Jersey Institute of Technology play at 8:00, and I think once both games are completed, then there's some type of a powwow between the people, the leaders of the CIT, and then you kind of go from there.
Talking to UE men's basketball coach Marty Simmons, Menards Studio Hotline. Save big money at Menards. It's Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3. And, Coach, I want to get your thoughts on this. We had Lance Wilkerson on with us Friday, and I threw this question out to him, but I'll go ahead and throw it out to you, too. How bad would you like to see Greg Marshall leave Wichita State and go to Texas?
Well, he's a heck of a coach, and what he's done out there at Wichita is he's done a tremendous job. And it really doesn't matter to me one way or another. I really enjoy the opportunity to compete against his teams. I've got a lot of respect for him, but I certainly, on the other hand, if he does leave, then we would wish him the very best. I think he'll be pretty successful, whatever decision he makes.
I think that's the right politically correct answer you just gave.
You knew that's what you were going to get.
I knew exactly what I was going to get, but I was going to throw it out there anyway. How much have you had a chance to pay attention to the D1 tournament with everything else you got going on?
A little bit. Probably not as much, and that's great because I love practice and preparing, and we love coaching this team. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We've had our disappointments, just like every other team, but I think our guys are making the most of it. But I think the NCAA Tournament Division I as always, has been outstanding. And some of the upsets, in the early rounds, I think that's what separates it from any other sporting event, there is just that uncertainty. I think people love to see, the underdogs of the smaller schools, the mid-majors, go up against these BCS schools in neutral sites, with neutral officials, and I think it's been outstanding.
Well, we're down to only 4 left in that. Who you got? Who's in the championship of your bracket?
Well, I got Kentucky. I don't know how you can go against those guys, but it's tough. I mean, Notre Dame obviously was outstanding, put themselves in a position to win that game, but again, give Kentucky credit. I mean, they made the plays down the stretch. But I think you got 4 quality teams, obviously 4 great coaches, I think it's going to be one of the better Final Fours we've had in recent history.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's UE men's basketball coach Marty Simmons joining us on the Menard Studio Hotline as he gets ready for the collegeinsider.com tournament semifinal tomorrow night at the Ford Center. Again, the tip-off time has changed to 6 o'clock. You guys take on University of Tennessee. Martin, best of luck to you, Coach, and hopefully we can talk again later on this week about maybe playing for the championship in that tournament.
That would be awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks for the time.